Here we are then for round number 2 at Redlodge, 25th of April in the fine spring summer weather, and our venue for this round is the brilliant Redlodge Circuit. We are just over the Cambridgeshire Suffolk border, not too far from Mildenhall and the famous American Air Base. 1200 metre circuit, 11 turns, quite a technical track and very flat as well, not much elevation, so it's flat and very twisty in places. We have some perfect spring weather here, sunny forecast throughout the day, no rain forecast in the meteorological forecast, about 14 degrees and a light breeze. You would say this is pretty much perfect conditions for racing. So Motor Oil's Ohvale getting underway very shortly, and the grid is lining up as follows. Ruben Bray sitting on pole position from Arnie Carr. Thornley Trevorrow in 3rd position. Wilson Dilks in 4th. Luca Wilkinson in 5th place. Laken Payne in 6th position. Monty Hillier in 7th from Daniel Stevenson. Travis Shaw and Kobe Garrett in 10th. Ralph Croft 11th. Izzy Carter in 12th position. Parker Jazari in 13th from Jonathan Payne. Sidney Marshall 15th. Dan Deering, Ethan Dunning and Jack Hamilton in 18th place. Further back we have Freddie Bridewell, Tyler Humphries, Cameron Ancliffe, Jack Newton 22nd. Unidentified rider in 23rd from Tobias May. Confirming if those two riders, 2 or 3 at the back, are taking part in this race. There were a couple of DNSs towards the back of the field. But certainly, even if they're not there, still a healthy entry of Ohvale machines. These machines were introduced into the UK last year under the watchful eye of Peter Hickman. And we are about to get back underway. The green flag drops and away we go. So Ruben Bray with a good start, gets that sweep into the first corner. They charge through, round the first bend. Everyone appears to have got away. One rider left on the grid, but finally gets underway further back. You'll see just on the right-hand side of your screen that that was Jack Hamilton left behind at the start, but gets the machine running. Here we see again that drone footage giving us a real idea of what a test this Redlodge Circuit is. So Ruben Bray, early leader, number 12. And Thornley Trevorrow, the rider who had trouble at the start a few moments ago, has got the bike restarted and gets away nicely in 2nd place. Looks like Arnie Carr and Luca Wilkinson in there too. But a good clean start to the race as Bray goes through in the lead, number 12. Then we've got Carr and Trevorrow in there too. So Ruben Bray, your race leader. For whatever reason, wasn't picked up on the timing screens on the first lap. Will be picked up by the lap scorers, and that'll be updated, I'm sure, as the race goes on. So Trevorrow 2nd, Arnie Carr in 3rd on the 83. As we look a bit further down with Travis Shaw and Tyler Humphries having a good battle there just on the edge of the top 10. And there we see again that always great to have these drone cameras here. Gives you an idea of how tight that 180 corner is in the middle of the lap. That's about the slowest part of the track. And of course these sort of karting venues that are the hosting ground for the British Minibikes Championship, they do have their technical parts, and a similar principle you would say to karting sometimes, in that sometimes with these similar machines, the exit speed very important indeed. Just for the benefit of you watching at home, the rider in 19th place on your timing screen there, Ruben Bray, is the leader on track. So it's Thornley Trevorrow 2nd place, Arnie Carr, Wilson Dilks and Luca Wilkinson battling away just a bit further behind. Great little battle here going through the Warren corner. I think that may well be Arnie Carr and Wilson Dilks. Oh, and look at this. Dueling for position down the back straight there. That was Carr. Staying strong. As Wilson Dilks just turning in a little bit there. So some hard but fair racing, I would say. We've got 76, Luca Wilkinson closing up just a bit further behind. That's what it's all about sometimes, just staying strong when you're coming under pressure from another rider. Wilson Dilks has made the move stick, now through into 3rd position. Ruben Bray, number 12, is your race leader. Then we've got Luca Wilkinson, Monty Hillier, Laken Payne, Daniel Stevenson and Tyler Humphries going through. Kobe Garbutt bit further behind, and there we see the updated screen. So Ruben Bray returned to his rightful place at the front of the field, starting to pull away. We'll have a look at Thornley Trevorrow in second place on the 42, who's not too far behind. Keep an eye on him, there he is. And coming under some pressure now, though, from the number 85 of Wilson Dilks. Trevorrow guarding the inside line, but now Dilks is going to try and fight back in towards the final corner. Through Paddock Bend they go. Along the start straight, let's see, Wilson Dilks' fastest lap of the race, 48.48. He's on the move, goes down the inside, but Trevorrow parks that bike on the inside line into Senna. Holds the line, there's some tail enders in front. I think that's Jack Hamilton. The rider who was left behind at the start had some trouble on the grid. Just being lapped by that leading group. So Ruben Bray goes through in the lead. Then there's a tail ender. So that'll be Ethan Dunning, who holds the line, lets the leaders down the inside. Trevorrow still in second, Dilks in third. And Arnie Carr just nips down the inside of Ethan Dunning to lap him in fourth position. So at the moment, Wilson Dilks, the fastest rider on the track, is in third. You'll see the sky blue helmet. But he can't get past Thornley Trevorrow, who's doing a great job of defending that second place. 2.3 seconds the gap, and Wilson Dilks really needs to get past Trevorrow now to try and get through. No, he can't get through. Again, Trevorrow holds that inside line. Just a shout out, actually, we were talking about Jack Hamilton a moment ago. Colin McCann's got in touch on social media. This is his second time on the new bike. So a difficult start to the race, but he's hanging on in there in 19th place. Keep an eye for him later on. As the race goes on, again, we just see Dilks trying to go down the inside of Thornley Trevorrow in second. Again, guards the inside line. He's riding very defensively. This has allowed Arnie Carr to catch back up now in fourth place. This is great news for the race leader, of course, Ruben Bray, who continues to pull away, because Trevorrow riding defensively in second now, holding on to that position. He's got two riders really putting him under pressure now. But as they say in racing, catching up is one thing, getting past can be another. And here we see now Wilson Dilks just trying to, you see him swerving around at the back there, looking for some different lines, trying to find an opening somewhere, because Trevorrow riding very well. Oh, there's a rider out of the race here further down. Let's try and pick the number up, or pick that up on the lap screen. I think that's Luca Wilkinson who's hit trouble, according to our lap charts, so appears to be out of the race. The tail end of there, that's the 461 of Sydney Marshall. Perhaps one of the worst places to encounter a slow rider on that technical part of the track, but again, the slow rider just doing the right thing, holding the line, letting the faster riders get through. Oh, but trouble there, as the 83 of Arnie Carr just stood up in the corner. We'll have a look at that again as they make their way through. And, well, that was a bit unfortunate there. Just trying to go down the inside, and Dilks closed the door at the last minute, which is, of course, is entitled to do, and that means that Arnie Carr toppling off the edge of the bike and out of contention. So it's down to one now for Thornley Trevorrow, who's been in second for all of this race. It's allowing Ruben Bray to pull away slightly. So Arnie Carr and Wilson Dilks both looking threatening before in third and fourth place. Arnie Carr getting in trouble here this time last lap, trying to go down the inside of Dilks. I think Arnie Carr's okay and back in the race. We'll pick him up shortly. But this engaging battle for second place is somebody may have got into trouble on the first corner. Another rider may possibly have been the 411 of Jonathan Payne, just letting these two riders through. Oh, again, Dilks having a look on the exit of 180. And of course, with Arnie Carr dropping out of contention, that means that everyone else in the top 10 is moved up a position. That's the rider on the first corner. Just trying to pick that up on the lap chart. I think it may be the number 46 of Izzy Carter. We'll confirm that shortly on the timing screens, of course. But still, it's great battle for second place. So Trevorrow having a look down the inside. Got a couple of slow riders in front. They're battling for position by the looks of things. This is important now for Trevorrow to try and get through. That's the number 80, currently in 13th place. Dan Deering Oh, that's a good pass there from Trevorrow, but no, Dilks has immediately fought back down the inside of the tail ender and gets back, well, say tail ender, these riders in the midfield, you would say. Trevorrow looking strong. So, having a look down the inside again, but no, Trevorrow's got the line into the S's. A nice exit there from Dilks, and this time, finally, after all that pressure, 3 laps to go, Wilson Dilks has made the pass stick, so perseverance paying off, and there we see a classic move, just going to show how important the exit of the S's is for the riders. And that move was all done on the exit to the corner there. Dilks getting a good exit out of the corner, now trying to pull away. He was closing up on the race leader Ruben Bray before, but at the moment, only 2 laps to go. He's going to really rely on Ruben Bray hitting some trouble further down the field. As Trevorrow, now this could be Trevorrow's opportunity here to look at the lines and try and stick with the second place rider, which is doing well so far. And to lap a couple of slow riders there, we see the machine of Jack Hamilton. And after that difficult start, to tell you what, we had a couple of riders dropping out, so he's keeping going, and he's moved up to 16th place now, so good going there. We just said on social media, this is Jack Hamilton's 2nd time on the new bike, so he's getting into this race, certainly not last now. He's gone through past 3 people after a few dropouts. Arnie Carr, it appears, is out of the race. Ruben Bray, meanwhile, 49.7 last time round, loses a little bit of time, but at the moment looks like he's got a 3.8 second gap at the front. There's the number 76 of Luca Wilkinson, I think hit trouble before. There's another rider in trouble, that's the number 18 further down the field, but Ruben Bray at the moment looks like he's set for victory. Just got to keep the bike pointing straight on the last few corners. Checkered flag now being ready for our race leader. Ruben Bray has just gone through to take the flag. Might be a lap ahead of ourselves here on the last lap, so we're just going to look out for the number 12 of Ruben Bray, the race leader. There he is. Humphrey's gone through, Wilson Dilks, so still race still underway, so we're just waiting for the checkered flag to come out very shortly. I think it's a lap behind on the timing, which is of course still running, so these riders will be counted on the final lap. So Ruben Bray, number 12, should be coming through very shortly to take the checkered flag. There's Luca Wilkinson on the 76, currently on the edge of the top 10. Wilson Dilks charging in second, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Ruben Bray takes the checkered flag. There's Dilks charging in second, trying to pull away from Trevorrow, who takes third. Going to be Laken Payne on the number 41 in 4th place, quite some distance back. Such was the pace of those top 3 in that closely fought race. But quite an engaging race there in the Motor Oil's Ohvale 110 Cup. So it's going to be Trevorrow 3rd, Laken Payne 4th, Tyler Humphries 5th, Monty Hillier. Oh, great to see Monty Hillier back in contention as well, of course. Saw him last year as well. Dan Stevenson, Travis Shaw, Kobe Garbett and Luca Wilkinson running up the top 10. And to our newcomer, of course, Jack Hamilton, who we spoke about a few moments ago. Our 3rd and final race for the Ohvale 110 Cup in association with Motor Oils will be underway shortly. Let's have a look at how they line up. Ruben Bray, 1st position from Wilson Dilks. Thorley, Trevorrow in 3rd, Laken Payne in 4th, Tyler Humphries and Monty Hillier in 6th place. 7th for Daniel Stevenson, 8th for Travis Shaw, 9th is Kobe Garbett, 10th Luca Wilkinson, 11th Izzy Carter, Dan Deering in 12th position. 13th for Jonathan Payne, 14th Sidney Marshall, Freddie Bridewell in 15th place, Jack Hamilton 16th, Ethan Dunning in 17th from Ralph Croft in 18th position. 19th is Arnie Carr from Parker Jazari, Cameron Ancliffe 21st from Jack Newton, and Tobias May 24th place. We believe, wait and see if they start the race. We anticipated a 24 rider grid. if you remember race number 1 a bit earlier on today for the first race we covered, of course, for the 110 Cup, it was very close, very thrilling indeed. Some great battles throughout the field. Let's hope for more of the same as Ruben Bray takes that position in first place on the grid, the number 85, just behind in second place. Riders making final preparations on the gate, and this Ohvale series, of course, in association. The man who's very much behind the importing of the Italian Ohvale machines into the UK, Peter Hickman, he's here today. He's been racing today as well. Perhaps not quite had the day he'd hoped for on the track, of course, but off the track he'll be delighted to see so many riders picking up on this Ohvale series. It's split now into 2 classes for 2021. Such is the interest. We've got the 110s, of course, out now. The 160s out a bit later on the different capacity machines. So Ohvale UK bringing us this series in association with Motul Oils. We wait for the flag to drop, and away they go. Ruben Bray with a nice start down the inside. Trevorrow has a look down the inside into the first corner, but it looks like Wilson Dilks has held on to the lead. Through they go for the first time. So they settle into position. Looks like a good start. Everyone's got through the first few corners safely. Ruben Bray, though, with a good start. It looks like Wilson Dilks has held on to second place, trying to pull away from Thorley Trevorrow in third. Such a great battle at the front in that previous race. Through the S's they go. So Ruben Bray, number 12, just trying to pull away from the rest of the field. Good clean start though as the rest of the field make their way through the S's for the first time. Down the Simpson straight they go over the line. So Ruben Bray, your early leader. Wilson Dilks second. I think a mistake there from the 42 of Thorley Trevorrow. Just dropped the position, moves back into third. Through they go for the first time then. The end of that first, now onto their first of the flying laps, you would say, 12-lap race. And here they come, Ruben Bray, your race leader. Oh, as Thornrow has a look down the inside. That was close into the S's. Pretty decent racing there, but makes his way through. 11 laps to go. Ruben Bray. And thanks to Colin McCann for getting in touch again. Picking up there, of course, to Jack Hamilton, who's a bit further down the field on the number 28. And like many of the riders, of course, they jump between classes. There's a few riders that do double entries, which does have its pros and cons, you would say, of course. There is the physical element, having to race twice as much. So, as we watch the 42 there, Thorley Trevorrow, a small mistake in the 180. Trying to get the bike picked up. Oh, and he just can't believe his luck there. Just a tiny mistake. The back end just seemed to get away from him there. Yeah, such a good first race, of course, Trevorrow, and I think he's still down. Let's watch that again. Trevorrow hard into the corner, and the back end overtakes the front. Down he goes, sliding off the side of the machine. And I think, well, he's okay, but he's still struggling to get that bike restarted. So that's a shame for Thorley Trevorrow, who drops out of contention. He's okay, but everyone else moves up a position. Tyler Humphries up to third, Laken Payne in fourth. Monty Hillier in fifth position now. He's having a good run through the field. Luca Wilkinson, Arnie Carr on the move as well. Number 83 up to seventh place. So all of the top 10 now been relegated a position. Of course, the name to look out for if you follow your motorcycle racing is the machine in fifth place. That, of course, is Monty Hillier, the son, of course, of James Hillier, famous name from the Isle of Man TT races. Competed in a few events last year, of course, did Hillier, and he's running well so far in the top 5. The man to beat at the front here, though, is the number 12 of Ruben Bray, who has just set his fastest lap of the race, 48.12. Wilson Dilks in second position, 3.6 seconds adrift. So, of course, we've lost Thorley Trevorrow, number 42, after that small mistake in the 180. Looks like he's back underway. Lost a lot of time trying to get the bike restarted. Of course, these machines, they get hot under race conditions, and makes it difficult sometimes when they get hot just to get them restarted. So that means, of course, that Tyler Humphries, 5.1 seconds adrift in third on his own at the moment, because in fourth and fifth place we then see Laken Payne and Monty Hillier. Ruben Bray leads now by 4.1 seconds. Dilk still in second place. That looks like Bray, the race leader, through to the 180. And looking good so far. The first race, of course, was quite close and quite frantic, but this one's going the way at the moment of Ruben Bray. Done the hard work in the early stages to make that 4.1 second gap. Now just picking his way through the field. There's one of the newcomers. That's Jack Hamilton in 16th place. Just getting the support on social media, I should say, to Rebecca Gibson. Get in touch as well to urge him on. Of course, he's having a good first day out on that machine, currently in 17th. But it looks like he's been overtaken by Thorley Trevorrow, which is good news for Trevorrow. He's still in the race. Saw the bike had gone off the track, so we weren't too sure if he was still in the race, but evidently he is, as he starts to make his way through the field. And this, of course, is where it's a case of just keeping your head down and getting on with it. He lost the bike in a small mistake. It's, for want of a better phrase, thrown the race away, really, but it's far from over. There's still a long way to go. 6 laps left in this race, and still very much worth keeping going, because you never know what's going to happen in front of you. And one of the things you should always remember, of course, is that you quite often win the championship on your bad days. If it's a bad race, if you can salvage some points, get a few more positions out of this race with 6 laps to go. Still got a few riders you could pass in front of him. So a bit further down, Thorley Trevorrow fighting hard to salvage some points. And like we say, they're the sort of points that sometimes can win you a championship or move you up a position in the title race. So certainly worth keeping going. But Ruben Bray leads the race with 5 laps to go. Wilson Dilk still in second place, Tyler Humphries third. There we see the number 46 of Izzy Carter in 10th place. Chasing down the number 25 of Kobe Garbett, Travis Shaw in there as well. Arnie Carr and Luca Wilkinson a bit further ahead. There is the number 4 of Travis Shaw having a look down the inside. Down the inside of the tail end there, I think, as he makes his way through. Shaw comfortable in 8th position. Another rider who's doing a double entry today. And like we say, we've got the pros and cons of that sometimes. There's the physical element of having to race twice as much, but especially when the races are in close succession, it does sometimes mean that you're nicely warmed up, you know where the lines are on the track, so it can have its benefits as well. Ruben Bray controlling the race though. 4.7 seconds is your gap. There he is, making his way down the straight run. Wilson Dilk's in second on the 85, still keeping him honest though with 4 laps to go. 4.7 seconds. Of course, it sounds a lot, but as we know in racing, so easy to make a mistake. We've seen a couple of riders go down quite easily without smallest of errors. So certainly the Bray, the race leader, has got to keep his eye on the ball. He is just ahead, actually, of the rider we were talking about a few moments ago, Thorley Trevorrow. And from what I was saying before about keeping going in these races, he's doing that very well. He was pretty much at the back. He's starting to pick his way through the midfield now. He's up to 11th place with 3 laps to go. He's a lap down, which doesn't help him really, but nonetheless, he's still picking his way through a few riders. There is Ruben Bray, the race leader, 3 laps to go through the S's once again. Got this race under control at the moment with a 6.3 second gap. Just got to focus on his own race here. Use the lines. Keep a cool head, just pick his way through the traffic and maintain that pace. And there we see the 42 off Trevorrow, currently 11th place. So Ruben Bray starting to catch up now with the 10th place rider. This is Izzy Carter, well and truly in the midfield now. Carter about to be lapped. And Carter chasing after the 25 of Kobe Garbett, just a bit further ahead with 2 laps to go. There goes Garbett through the Warren, currently in 9th place. Currently the last rider on the lead lap, about to be lapped by the race leader, Ruben Bray, who has run a very good race so far. The gap goes up to 7.6 seconds. I think it was Freddie I saw a rider in trouble on the infield earlier on after the commentary point here. I think that was Freddie Bridewell, quite possibly, who's dropped down the reckoning. Down to 18th place, so I think dropping out of contention. There you see Bridewell 18th and Ralph Croft in 19th position may well have dropped out of contention as well. Means, of course, that Ethan Dunning and Jack Hamilton move up to 17th and 16th position respectively. Meanwhile, at the front of the field in this 12-lap final, Ruben Bray increases the gap to 7.2. There's the number 4 of Travis Shaw, we've seen today, of course, running very well. Running strongly in this final Ohvale. The first of the Ohvale finals, the 110 Cup. Currently the final rider on the lead lap. Is he going to be lapped by the race leader, though? Ruben Bray down towards the final corner. There is the 28 of Jack Hamilton just in front. I think he's just about going to stay ahead, but Ruben Bray takes the checkered flag just ahead of the number 4 of Travis Shaw. Thornley Trevorrow goes through. Good recovery from Trevor after that spill earlier in the race, battling through to 9th place, just ahead of Kobe Garbett and Izzy Carter. Very close battle for 9th place there. Wilson Dilks brings it home in 2nd place from Tyler Humphreys. Laken Payne in 4th. Monty Hillier in 5th place. Good result for him. Then there's a gap between him and the 6th place rider, Luca Wilkinson. Arnie Carr will be the final rider on the lead lap. But a very well run race there for Ruben Bray. The first of our Ohvale races in this final block. Race number 3 draws to a close. Last few riders making their way through over the line. So I think the 28 of Jack Hamilton coming through in a few moments. There's Stevenson going through. Hamilton, and there we go. So Jack Hamilton improving through the day. He's actually set his fastest lap of the race, 57.02. So picking up the pace in those last few laps. One of our newcomers, of course. So he brings the bike up. I'm sure he'll have had a good day as well from for a very much a newcomer to the Ohvale class. We'll see the Ohvales a bit later on, of course, for the 160 Cup a bit later on. But we move back now to the mini bike action. The first of our 160 finals in association with Pit Bike Spares. It's the mini bike 160 Group B underway shortly.